why do I even own a Sphynx? Like, what? There's a lot of cons. There's a lot of cons. I don't even know why I own one. Hi guys, it's me Dominique from Live Laugh Love Fashion. I hope you're doing amazingly well. Today's video is so different to any other video that I've done. Today's video is about how to take care of a Sphynx cat. Yes, you got it. It's the pros and cons of owning a hairless cat. So let's get straight to it. So basically, I just wanted to give a quick rundown of what it's like to own a hairless cat. A little bit about Gadget. He is 4 years old and I will have owned him 2 years this April. He is a pedigree Sphynx. He's a black Sphynx, and a lot of people say, oh, I've never seen a black Sphynx before, because they're always so used to seeing the pink and white ones. Well, Gadget's a black Sphynx. He is a bull desk Sphynx, which is the name of the breed, the name of the family line of Sphynxes. His grandparents, great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents are all champions. So he comes from a very good line. And I rehomed him because I always wanted to own a Sphynx, and I got my wish 2 years ago. I always want to know, what's it like owning a hairless cat? Well, let me just say, it's hard work. They are hard work. They're not easy at all. It's not just like looking after or owning any cat. I mean, these cats are hard work, high maintenance, and I guess that's why they're a pedigree. First of all, the fact that they have no fur. I mean, he has a little bit of fur, like the tiniest bit. I don't know if it's going to pick it up on the camera, but if you can see on his face, he's got a bit of fur here, on the ends of his ears, but they have the tiniest little bits of hair all down and across their body. Now, I am not an expert on animals and cats and Sphynxes. I'm just telling you my experience and what I've learned and what I know. And basically, cats all have, okay, I'm going to try and word this correctly, but they all have some kind of oil, bodily oil, no matter whether they're hairless or have fur. Basically, Sphynxes, because they have no fur, if they had fur, like any cat that has fur, basically this oil gets soaked up by the hairs in there, by the fur. Oh god, I'm getting this so wrong. But a Sphynx obviously doesn't have the fur to soak up the oil, so they get really dirty, which means that they have to have a bath every week or every 2 weeks. He's looking at me like, please don't put me in the bath. Don't worry, he had a bath yesterday, the day before. Although he does need another bath because he's got makeup all over his face. So yeah, so because of this oil, they get really dirty. And if you have like, I mean, I've got this white top on now. I've already got some marks on it because of him. So even though he got bathed this week, he's dirty already. So they are high maintenance. You do need to bathe them. You can use anything like body shampoo, baby shampoo, baby bath, anything that's like Johnson's type, that's directed towards babies, then you can use on a Sphynx cat, or you can just go to a pet store and get pet shampoo. He really does not want to be in this video, but this video is about you, pumpkin. Yeah, it is. Gadget. Oh shit. Okay then, bye bye. All right then. God. So yeah, they need a bath once or twice a week. That's a pro and a con in a way, because a pro, yes, you get to keep them clean. A con, because depending on the type of cat that you have, depending on their personality, and cats in general, they don't really like being in water. So there have been times where Gadget has been an angel, and there have been times where he's been Satan. Like, I have been scratched all up the front, all at the back. There's been times where I forgot to tie my hair up and he's used my hair as a ladder and has literally just crawled himself right onto the top of my head. And it's just been a disaster. The bathroom has been like wet all over the floor. I've almost fallen over. So it can be hard work But if you get a cat that is quite chilled out and not really fussed, then that's a pro. Onto their personalities. I would say, I mean, I've only had one Sphynx, but I would say that they are quite needy. They're clingy. They're like babies. They want your fuss 24/7, and you better give it to them, because if you don't, they will pester you and pester you and pester you and pester you. Like, it just doesn't end. And the main thing for that is because obviously they don't have any fur. They want to use your body heat to keep themselves warm, but you can kind of tell when they're using you sounds really bad, but when they're using you just for your body heat compared to when they just want to cuddle. But that again in itself is a pro and a con. I mean, the fact that they can get really cold, that's definitely a con. Now, depending on how you are, I mean, some people say dressing up animals is cruel. I personally love to dress up my pets. I do. Whether it's the cats or the rabbits, although I don't really dress up the rabbits. I have put a hat on a rabbit before, but I'm just saying. So, obviously with the Sphynx, if it gets quite cold for them, you can buy them little jumpers and little t-shirts to wear. I tend to go to the pet store and I buy them like these small dogs jumpers, and these are just some of his clothes. I mean, look at this hoodie. Isn't this so cute with a little bubble on the top? This is his little chavvy hoodie with the fur trim. This is his everyday jumper. This is a Christmas reindeer costume. And here's a hoodie that says, Mummy's Prince Charming. He has got some other clothes as well. You show everyone your nice little hoodie. You don't want to show anyone nothing, do you? You don't even want to look at them. Look at them. Say hello. Grumpy. So yeah, so they definitely get cold. I don't keep my heating on all day, every day. My heating's on a timer, so it comes on first in the morning whilst I'm getting ready for work, and then it comes on when I come back from work, and then it's on again through till about 10-11 o'clock at night. So that means throughout the day and throughout the night, Gadget potentially can be really cold. So what I have done, and something that I would advise, is I've made sure that he has a lot of items that can make him warm if he's not wearing any of his clothes. So on the top of the sofa there is a blanket. That's his blanket. There's a heater right behind the sofa. That's usually his spot. So if you see him at the back, it's because the heating's on and he just wants to stay warm. And then on another heater in the far end of the front room is one of those hang off radiator beds, and it's all lovely and fluffy inside. He has one of those as well. I have a, see, there we go, keeping himself warm. Now at my house I have a conservatory. The cats actually get shut in the conservatory at night time because they run riot throughout the night. So what I have done is I have a heater in there as well, so it's not cold. And I also have 4 blankets and a self-heating mat. So Gadget can pretty much take his pick of what he rolls himself in to stay warm. I would never ever own a Sphynx if I could not keep my house warm or keep them in a warm environment. So that is something that you have to think about. You have to think about your heating bill. You have to think about blankets. You have to think about that cat, because, you know, I wouldn't want to walk around naked in a cold house, in a cold environment 24/7. And that's pretty much what Sphynx cats are doing. So you have to be able to provide as much warmth and options as possible. So I would say the fact that they get really cold is a con, but if you have loads of blankets everywhere, it's a pro, because they will instinctively warm themselves up no matter what. Now on to their appetite. Because of the fact that they have no fur, a Sphynx cat eats like a horse. They will eat and eat and eat, and you just need to be careful. Like, if you're cooking in the kitchen, you can't leave anything on the sides. Like, even if you want to cook your evening meal and then cook something for your lunch the next day, you can't leave it on the side to cool down before you put it in the refrigerator. you have to shut the cat out of the kitchen. You have to make sure that there's no food anywhere, even a loaf of bread. I have come into the kitchen countless times and seen a brand new loaf of bread about that big on the floor, torn up, bite marks everywhere, and just pieces of bread everywhere. It can be a nightmare. Those days when you go out clubbing and you're a little bit hungover, so you're ordering pizza but you're not hungry enough to eat the whole pizza, so you leave the pizza in the box on the side of the kitchen. You can't do that with a Sphynx, because that box is on the floor, pizza everywhere. And no matter how many accidents that happen when it comes to your Sphynx and food, you are to blame. You can't blame that cat, because that cat is always hungry, and leaving food somewhere where they can access easily, they're going to do whatever they can to get that food. So just bear that in mind if you are thinking about getting a Sphynx cat, that you can't leave any food anywhere. I mean, you can barely even eat your own dinner with the cat in the same room. Like, I mean, I don't know about other people's cats, but my cat is just a pest, like a proper pest when it comes to food. So I feed Gadget twice a day. He is fed on wet food only because he has IBS when it comes to dry food, which would be the easier option, but I can't have diarrhea poo all around my house all the time. So wet food it is. It's a bit more expensive, and especially with having two cats, because I have another cat called Gizmo who is like a black and white domestic cat. It can be quite expensive when it comes to food. So he gets fed twice a day, morning and evening, and then he gets some treats. And then on top of that, I will also, every couple of days or once a week, I will cook a chicken breast, or I'll cook fish fillets with no seasoning or anything on, cut that up, and then that's like an extra dose of food for him. Do Sphynx cats need to come in pairs? I would say yes. I think if you're going to get a Sphynx, you need to make sure you have another cat. Whether that's a Sphynx or not is entirely up to you. I don't. I have another cat called Gizmo. He's 10 years old. He's a black and white cat. I would show him to you, but he's hiding from me, and that's just Gizmo's personality. Gizmo and Gadget cohabit together. I think Gizmo has been set in his ways. You know, he was the only cat that I had up until 2 years ago. I've had rabbits, and they've kind of been kept outside or kept in a separate room to Gizmo, and this is the first time that he's had to actually share his environment with another cat. Sphynxes are very friendly. The pair of those two, they did hiss at each other when they first met, and the first few days they had to obviously get to know each other, but luckily there was no fighting, no vicious fighting. They do play fight a lot, but I think that's just because Gadget is so much younger than Gizmo. Gizmo just can't, but Gizmo just, if I could show him to you I would, maybe later on in the video I will, but Gizmo is just, he's a fat cat and he's lazy. He just wants to sleep and eat all day, but if you can get a cat that maybe has the same kind of personality as a Sphynx that you want to buy, or you get siblings, or mother and child, or father and child, it's up to you, but I would definitely say that you would need to seriously think about the cat, because they do get quite lonely. They, like I said, they are needy, so they do need company. They do. Sphynx cats like to be up high. They are a bit destructive as well, so just be prepared if you see your cat in the highest point of your house, whether that's on top of a wardrobe or on top of some cupboards. You might as well just make him a little spot, because that's his spot now. He owns that spot. There's no point in trying to stop he or she from getting up to that spot. That's their spot. Just mold yourself around the Sphynx. That's all you can do. Okay, this one I have to say is a con. A con of owning a Sphynx. They are very, very vocal. Very vocal. They're so vocal. They're really loud. Like, he won't do one of his meows now, but it kind of sounds like meow, meow, meow. Imagine that over and 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 over. Why do I even own a Sphynx? Like, what? There's a lot of cons. There's a lot of cons. I don't even know why I own one. But just imagine that sound, those types of sounds all the time. If you can put up with that, then you get yourself a Sphynx. That's all I'm going to say on that. Don't come to me and say to me, oh my God, Dominic, you didn't tell me how vocal they are. They are vocal. They are vocal. And once, I mean, I'm a singer. So if I'm singing at home, guess who's joining in? Meow, meow, meow. It's mad. It's mad. So if you can put up with that, then fine. I mean, I would advise having a house with a conservatory where you can shut them in, or having a soundproof room. A soundproof room would be good. But yeah, they're very, very vocal. At least you know where they are if you lose them. But I'm not going to lie to you. My boyfriend does not like cats for a start. And he really is not the biggest fan of Gadget because he's so vocal. And it's hard. It is hard work because I'd never had a child, but I would compare it to having a baby, because you know when a baby's crying and you don't really know what's wrong with them and you try to figure out, and you know, all that sort of thing, it's kind of similar. Like, I have had many sleepless nights because of 5 a.m. wake ups because he's hungry. I have been woken up throughout the night because he wants to get into the bed because it's cold. So you just have to take this on board. Like, they are hard work. They are high maintenance. And I read up on Sphynxes before I actually owned Gadget, and I knew they were hard work and I was prepared for that. But you don't know how much hard work they are until you actually own one. So that's just my disclaimer right there. But I don't want to keep with the negatives and the cons, because there are a lot of cons. There are probably more cons than there are positives of owning a Sphynx. Yes, you own one of the badass looking cats that there are in this whole world. Like, I am so happy that I own a Sphynx. I mean, if I could own another cat, it would be a tiger. So I'm quite happy to be owning a Sphynx. You know, some people want the fluffy kind. You know, they have the ragdoll cats, or they want a Siamese cat. You know, there are other pedigrees of cats that people are really drawn to. Not many people are drawn to Sphynxes because they find them quite weird looking, and you know, you see a Sphynx in all their entirety, and that is what is under a cat's fur. But I think they're beautiful animals. I think they have beautiful characters. I think they are really, really friendly if they like you. If they don't like you, you haven't got a chance. But there's just something that a Sphynx offers more so than any other type of cat. So that is it. I don't really have much more to add, and if I do apologise. If you have any more questions, just leave a comment just down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give me some thumbs up, guys. I really do appreciate you following me. I hope that this video has helped someone. Like I said, if you want to know anything more, then don't hesitate and leave me a comment, and I will speak to you all soon. See you later. You love your mummy. You love your mummy, don't you? Are you tired today? Is that why you're not really keeping your eyes open? Everyone wants to see beautiful eyes. No? Hey, hey. Wamba wada wada, hey, hey. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss, I'll put you down. You little shit. Okay then.